Welcome to the world of Nub TV. On this series, we have UFOs, we have remote viewing, we have the paranormal, we have the mental internet. Wow. And we try and find the meaning of it all. But do we succeed? The rock and roll truth is out there on Nub TV.
There is a light up in the sky. We'll sit and watch it go by.
Would you rather be woken up in the night by an alien or an AI?
Oh, definitely AI.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, it's just not physical, is it? They can't probe or,
You want a late night probe?
Similarly, if there were other technological civilizations billions of years ago that predated us, they might have sent AI astronauts. Now, our AI astronauts may be less advanced than theirs. And if they visit us, of course, we can use our AI systems to interpret their AI systems. And they might feel kinship to them, and it will give a new twist on Alan Turing's imitation game, which was intended for AI systems here on Earth to imitate humans, because we are trying to make them in our image. But in the future, our AI systems might try to imitate extraterrestrial AI systems because they would be far more advanced. And perhaps once they reach similar levels, that will usher our way into the class of intelligent civilizations of the Milky Way galaxy.
We need a song.
we need a song.
We need a song about aliens.
Absolutely.
Okay. If anyone's seen a UFO, can you please let Harvey know? He's searching for extraterrestrial life. Let's hope he's got time for his wife. I think that was a bit personal, but thank you for watching Nub TV.
I hope his wife doesn't watch it.
I hope he's got a wife and it's not. Oh, God.
We'll sit and watch it go by.
Seen discs come over fields, what we would call UFOs, and affect meadows and things. So I think there is a relationship between UFOs and crop circles. Doug Bauer, I believe he was the artist from Australia of the Doug and who was inspired by the Tully saucer nests, which were these patterns of reeds where people had seen discs leaving. So there is a definite UFO connection, but people did make them. And my feeling about them is they're not hoaxes for the most part, the ones that people do. They're not done as a joke. What the teams that I met, and again, I wrote about this in Opening Minds, they called it natural magic. They really felt that something special was happening when they made these. And now, all these years later, having been in them so many times and visited your country, it does seem that there are special properties of anything arranged in a vortex.
Yeah.
Pattern that affects space-time, affects electromagnetics. And so I think the subject's more complex than any of us thought.
So the motivation's not just to prank people, it's they feel compelled. Is that the right word? Or
I would say so. They felt compelled. I've had them use that language. They've gone into fields at times and said, doesn't feel right. We're not going to do it.
We'll sit and watch it go by.
And what this story is about, it's about a person called Mr. X that's from another planet, let's say Mars. He comes down to Earth. He comes down about 250 years ahead of time. And what he does is he picks out stocks in the US stock market, right? There were about 126 stocks of these high-risk stocks. And he spends up to $800 and turns $800 into $350 million within 2 weeks.
It's not true. Oh.
Yeah. Some guy makes a lot of money coming back in time and betting on the stocks. It sounds like the plot from Primer, one of my favourite films, low budget movie from the 90s, I think it was.
Thing is, I mean, you're going to need money, aren't you, if you're going to a planet? So you need a way of kind of making money. So why not?
Okay.
To survive.
Okay.
And if you're going to survive on a planet, you might as well survive rather than going to like the Premier Inn you might as well go to the Ritz.
No time travelers at the premiere in, ladies and gentlemen. This is a song about time travel. Watching Nub TV unravel. We're not a band called ABBA, but I'm a fat guy called Jabber. God, I might pop to Pizza Hut on the way home. Come on, throw this TV dog a bone. God, that was shit. Thank you.
And people say things like, well, it's Giganopithecus from 800,000 years ago. No, it's not. It's not roaming through the woods. Somebody would have found it by now. And these things have to die, right? The only way Bigfoot could exist, I think, if it's some kind of interdimensional paranormal creature, and I don't even know what that means, but I mean, because you never find the body. I want to see more reports, if Bigfoot's real, of people seeing Littlefoot or a mother Bigfoot jiggling off into the distance, right? But you don't see that. It's always like Father Bigfoot, and I guess the mother and the baby are up in a cave somewhere. And then you have all these big storms and all these fires in the Pacific Northwest and storms hitting Britain. What's Bigfoot doing then? Has Bigfoot managed to survive? How come they don't find like Bigfoot bodies when they start going through these areas afterwards? But they don't.
The time has come that you should let me go. You see the wind is in my sails.
Mental internet model of consciousness, which I adhere to in my book, is rather that it's a collective field, a sphere of information in which we participate, just like the internet. And then these phenomena are much more easy to explain, because then telepathy, that would be like sending emails in a way, and also clairvoyance would be downloading of information. And somehow, if we perceive consciousness as this collective field of information, we are all sharing, we are all uploading information on that all the time. And for those who are sensitive, clairvoyant, paragnost, psychics, whatever we should call them, they are able to download this information, but it is there all the time. Therefore, also this view of consciousness is somehow also a very democratic view of these paranormal abilities, because of course the mystics, having spent perhaps 20 years in meditation, are more likely to perceive those small vibes, you know, but they are there for every one of us to experience in according to talent and training.
Sweetener drug, aspartame.
Oh yeah, that one, yeah.
Yeah, like that's in all your Cokes and Diet Cokes. That it's been used as because it's so across everything. Yeah. Like the government use it as a tool to deaden like connection to, you know, the spiritual world or this external intranet, because obviously they don't want people connecting too much, do they? It would be uncontrollable. Wow. So where did you hear this on Twitter, was it? TikTok. But you know, it wouldn't surprise me. No, I mean, I guess if we go down the conspiracy road, which some people do, then you could think maybe people in the government, because especially the US government has tested and used psychic soldiers. You know, even people like Uri Geller, we've had on the show, he was tested by the CIA, found to have psychic powers. They wanted to use him and other people like him
to be able to take on the Russians in the Cold War, and the Russians were doing the same. So they're no strangers to this, psychokinetic power. So yeah, it makes sense that they would want to kind of keep it in the hands of, people they can train, as opposed to letting it loose on the public.
But imagine if, you could use it as a real force for good, couldn't you? Mm. I think it's always...
Well, yeah, the Force, like Star Wars, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It could all be Jedi Knights. I mean, this is all our theories. Had a disclaimer. Yeah, okay, interesting things anyway.
Really interesting, yeah. I like that.
So, yeah, keep on watching TikTok, people, and Nub TV.
Wake you up. This time is wrong. The gloves are off. But bring it on, bring it on. I'm here to stay, so break away. Don't make a way. Oh, yeah. You look asleep, but I'll wake you up.
Are you awake? Eyes wide awake. We gotta get up. Stay wide awake. Are you awake? Eyes wide awake. We gotta get up. Stay wide awake. We'll sit and watch it go by.
Returned back to Yorkshire and ended up in 1999. A UFO came in over my house and illuminated a television antenna, and that's how it all began. And there's been various analysis done on this UFO and how it illuminated a TV antenna, but we do know it is not a man-made craft, and we do know that it maneuvers like a helicopter. Sure. And the jury's out. The jury's out. Some visual analysts have said that it's picked up car headlights illuminating it. A professor in Mexico has said it's discharging static along the TV antenna. I found it to be the foundation of my book. It's not doing anything like that. It's establishing communication, not in this point in history, but bizarrely in a future time frame. So that's kind of like the UFO overflights began over the house. I began being followed. That was extremely bizarre. Unmarked helicopters, an actual incident with a UFO and a helicopter over my house.
It makes sense that if there are aliens, there's good and bad. Like football fans, you've got maybe Grimsby and Huddersfield fans, which are quite nice, and then you've got Tottenham.
Millwall.
Yeah. So yeah, it does make sense in that sense. It's kind of interesting and a bit scary as well.
To see my name is your shame, though you'll say I'm to blame. So they call me poverty. I've been trying to meet my maker in these doorsteps and alleys at night. Though I've tried for so long, I just cannot go on. I'm too tired to put up a fight. We'll sit and watch it go by.
You're given a target picture. It's in a folder back there. You're in a cubby, kind of on a desk with blinders, and you're looking at a wall. There isn't any logical way why you can know what's in that folder. But I found within a few days, I was literally drawing the picture and, more importantly, feeling like I had been at the target site in my imagination during the session, which could last 20 minutes, half an hour, an hour. This is something developed by the U.S. military.
Goes out to my family because the joy you gave made me so happy. You stole my heart, taken it away. You'll never give it back, then I'll never come again.
I don't know. I mean, I think he's lost it. I mean, to be honest, ska punk is dead. It's a bit old-fashioned, and he's a bit kind of just lost it, I think.
He's done better, hasn't he? Really?
Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed, really. Yeah, I know he means well, but so
it's a shame, but we're just talking about your track, Kevin.
Fancy a drink?
Yeah.
I think we need a word, mate.
Yeah. Oh shit.
There is a light up in the sky.
Did King Charles III actually fly a UFO? That's crazy, isn't it? But it could actually be true. We've spoken to someone, I used to work with Prince Charles then, back in 1975 in Canada on a Navy project called Project Serpico. And Prince Charles flew this flying saucer, this craft. It's well weird.